In any investigation, I always start with established facts and look for confirmed, testable evidence.
Sound speed.
Check, check, check.
This is particularly important in any case with a paranormal connection. But despite my best efforts to stick with that procedure, I was not prepared for what our crew encountered in what is the most disturbing investigation we've undertaken for Mysteries Decoded. The Conjuring House has been called one of America's most haunted places, and honestly, this has affected me like no other investigation.
What are you feeling?
Like not good, not welcome. But I'm getting ahead of myself. These surreal events started 2 days earlier when I arrived in Rhode Island to meet paranormal researcher Sarah Gray.
I called you because we got special permission to do an investigation of the Conjuring House.
So that's the house where a family who lived there was tormented by some spirit.
That's right. And recently, a new family purchased it, and they're experiencing similar events. They have really compelling evidence of what's going on in the house right now.
I had an experience as a little girl in a graveyard that left me with a lot of questions about the paranormal and the afterlife. Ever since then, I've been researching the field, trying to figure out what happens after you die. The Conjuring House is one of the most haunted locations in the United States of America. So every paranormal investigator dreams of investigating this location.
What specifically about this particular property is so interesting to you?
Well, for one, it's just a really, really old home. So the Conjuring movie was based off the Perron family. And the Perron family lived there from 1971 to 1980. So it's gonna be interesting to find out what actually really happened.
So the new homeowners knew that this house was haunted. Why would they decide to buy it?
They are actually paranormal investigators, so I'm pretty sure they bought the house to do further research.
The house is older than the nation itself, by 40 years. It was built in 1736. Before the parents lived there, there was a family there for multiple generations, the Arnold family. They had a lot of trauma and a lot of death. The owners are letting us go in alone. Fewer people makes it easier to connect with any spirits, and like they say, first impressions are everything.
You want upstairs or downstairs, Sarah?
I would love to check out the upstairs first.
Ceilings are so low.
Yeah. Definitely seems to be an energy in here.
How is it up there?
Oh, my heart is pounding.
I feel old house, that's for sure. Empty old houses can feel kind of creepy. I don't particularly find anything spooky about this place, so I am wondering why everyone is so convinced that it's haunted.
Jennifer.
Corey and Jennifer Heinzen are the new owners. They live here along with their 2 kids, Kyler and Madison.
This place is amazing. I can feel a presence already. There's a thick energy in the room.
What made you guys want to buy this place?
It's a piece of American history, and it's a piece of paranormal history.
So for those of us lay people who are not in the paranormal world, when we walk into a place and we say there's kind of like a heaviness and you feel that this building is old, is that essentially the same thing that we're feeling, but I just chalk it up to this building has history and it's old, and you guys chalk it up to there's actually a presence?
That's what I would say. The longer you stay in the paranormal field, you build up like sort of like a sensitivity to electromagnetic energy and things like that. It feels almost palpable.
So Corey, do you guys have cameras in every single room?
Yes, we have 16 cameras set up throughout the house.
How long are you able to keep the footage?
Typically 6 to 7 days. It rolls over every 6 to 7 days.
Can you guys show me a few of the things that you've caught on your cameras?
Yeah.
So this first video is taken up in the master bedroom. So what this is actually a camera looking at a monitor right now. That's why the video is a little bit muddled. But if you notice, we have a softball sitting up on top of the register.
Somebody had
heard a bang overnight, wasn't sure what it was, so when we get up in the morning, I reviewed the footage. Watch the angle of the ball.
What? Can we rewind that? I mean, it looks like it's being pushed by something.
The floors are wonky, it's an old house, but we did try and reenact the ball landing in the same spot, and we couldn't get it to roll in the middle.
That's compelling because that's consistent with what's being reported in this house.
Do you guys have the original clip of that?
I tried to look for it.
We've been having a lot of issues. This is actually our 5th system that we've had, and I can't explain it. I've never had this many issues with a camera system before.
Here's another one that we didn't find until the next morning.
What?
And if you notice, I'm gonna rewind here for a second, none of the other books around it move when it falls. A lot of times when books are stacked sideways like that, if one book is gonna come out, the books behind it will shift. Nothing else.
Wow, that's amazing.
This is actually the first time the book fell off the shelf.
Yes.
It happened another night as well.
The same book?
Same book.
Same book. And the name of the book is Moral Relativity.
We have very refined spirits.
Yes.
When the book fell off the shelf, I thought, well, that could probably happen, but there's 2 different videos of the book falling off the shelf, and the other books around it don't seem to be affected by it. Is there a reason it could have happened? Sure, what that reason is, I don't know. To get the facts about this home's strange history, we've invited Andrea Perron and her father, Roger, whose family story was told in the Conjuring movie, to come tell us what happened here. Now, you 2 lived here for 10 years?
10 years, just about.
Now, what were some of the things that you experienced when you lived here?
Multiple apparitions, full-body apparitions, disembodied voices, and to us, we saw what we thought would be described as ghosts or spirits. This place is a magical intermingling of dimensions and energies unlike any place I've ever been on Earth.
We're investigating claims that the house that sparked the Conjuring movie series is still haunted. Former owners Andrea and Roger Perron are sharing insights on the home's dark past.
How does it feel to be back?
It's quite strange. I didn't know anything at all about spirits when we bought this house. And then I started to believe, especially when it started happening to me.
The original farmhouse was built in 1736 on a vast 200-acre estate. Today, the property is much smaller, but several period structures still remain.
The important thing to know is that one extended family lived and died on this property prior to our arrival. So we were the outsiders. And I've got an actual original photograph from 1885. This is their spot, this is their space. And the best thing to do is always ask their permission to come in here. When we first moved here, my mother spoke at length with a historian in the area, and he's the one that told her of Mrs. John Arnold, who apparently hanged herself in this barn in 1797 because she was so distraught at the loss of her husband that she didn't want to go on living.
So, Roger, what was your first paranormal experience in the house?
I'd just come back from a trip, and I was starting to eat when I heard footsteps in the cellar stairs over here. All of a sudden, the cellar door opened up. I was sitting over here, and I saw like a veil float into the foyer.
So when you say a veil, are you talking about like a white mist, a black mist, or what type of shape was it?
No, it was like a cloud, white in color, but I could see through it into the foyer.
Wow.
She was not able to show herself to me for some reason. And I just looked at her and said, hey, look, old lady, either come and sit and talk to me or just get the heck out of here. And that's when she got the heck out of here and slammed that door. I thought the door was busted. That's how hard it hit.
Now, my mother saw an apparition in the house who actually spoke to her. And my mom thinks that it was Mrs. Arnold. We don't know for sure, but she had a broken neck. Her head was hanging off the side of a high collar, lace collar, clothes that would be from the 1700s. And she leaned over my mother and she said, "'Twas mistress once afore ye came, and mistress here will be anon." I think she was the one that haunted and taunted my mother. I do.
Why do you think that is?
She was the mistress of the house. And my mother, in some way, I believe, posed a threat to her. And she loved my father, just loved my father. And she wanted to do everything in her power to get my mother to leave. My mother came into this barn and she looked up on that main beam, and 20 feet out from the hayloft was a hand sigh that was laying on that beam. How it got there, we'll never know. But it lifted up, it started spinning like crazy, and then all of a sudden it flew down and it sliced her right across the neck and knocked her to this floor.
Now, part of me is thinking this kind of seems overly dramatic, but weird things do keep happening. For instance, something odd just happened when Sarah was in the kitchen with the crew.
Annie, would you tell them what happened here?
Oh, hold on. Let me hold that thought. Let me get the wide shots here, and then we'll come back to that. So we're just gonna get some wide shots. What was it?
Did you guys just hear that?
I did hear that.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Hello?
That's all the time.
Hello? Can you do that again? Whoever just did that, can you do it again for us, please? They really just did that. They really just did this. They just did that.
I heard it. I didn't realize it until she turned her head.
We got it on camera.
Hold that thought. Let me get the wide shots here, and then we'll come back to that. So we're just gonna get some wide shots. What was it?
Did you guys just hear that?
I did hear that.
This house is just vibrating with activity. Everything I've heard about this place is true. Something is here. I can't say whether it's demonic, but I don't think they want us here.
And this was your old room?
This was my room for 10 years of my life. When we moved in, I was laying in my bed, sleeping in my bed, and my little sister Cindy, who was 8 years old at the time, said, "Annie, Annie." I hear a lot of voices. They were so loud, they were making the floorboards shake. And she had tears in her eyes. Bless her heart. And she said, "They're all around the bed. They're all saying the same thing. There are 7 dead soldiers buried in the wall. There are 7 dead soldiers buried in the wall."